Hey everybody, it is me, your old buddy Steve Simonson, and we're going to do a quick Awesomers session today. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening with the Amazon um, lightning bolt or the Amazon memo that came out. And I can't really tell if I'm coming in clear or not, so I'll just have to leave it to you guys to tell me. But I had some close inner circle folks, my buddies, one in particular who's always kind of on the front lines of things, share something today, and I want to disclose him for fear of retribution in the world. But Amazon came out with a kind of a pretty clear um, policy update with regard to rebates in general, and I think it's going to have some impact in the industry. So, first of all, we're doing like I say, a little ad hoc live awesomers.com podcast episode tonight. If you're joining live, hey, lovely to see you. Although I can't quite see you yet. Feel free to put in a comment if you're here. We're going to talk about a few things, and we're going to go pretty quick. One is, what did Amazon say, and why does it matter? And really, why is it going to change the way people do product launches in general? This is not a giant surprise, but it happens to be kind of poorly timed with Q4 and so forth. Hey, there he is. Good to see you. And JA, I'm glad to see you. I see you on YouTube. That's what I know about that. So wonderful to see you. And I do want to just call out a couple things. So we're going to talk about Amazon kind of policy update, which is basically means, I think, significant things for every Amazon seller. We'll talk a little bit about, some of the Q4 preparations, and then about the Festivus event that's coming up in December and the Empowery.com new platform. So I apologize. This is the worst studio preparation ever, but I got to look over there to read what Amazon says so I get it right. I don't want to misquote them. Later, I'll misquote them and mischaracterize it, but I want to get it right to start out with. So if you'll indulge me, please. So Amazon's issued a memo that said clarification of Amazon's policy on rebates, coupons, and other marketing incentives. So way to cast a wide net, Amazon. Well done, you. Maybe I should withhold my commentary. No, I can't do it. It's just not built into me. I have to do commentary as I go. So that was the headline. Amazon seller code of conduct requires acting fairly and prohibited manipulating sales rank. We have recently received several seller inquiries, which several is kind of traditionally thought of as 4, but I bet you it was like 400,000 after some recent news. But they say they've received several seller inquiries regarding Amazon's policy on incentives that drive customer discovery and conversion, particularly through rebates, coupons, and other marketing incentives, and are offered outside Amazon as a way of driving a purchase in our store. So this is really precise language, and I want you guys to pay close attention to it. My boiling that down says rebates that are offered outside of Amazon, or coupons, or any kind of incentive. Basically, if it's external to Amazon and it doesn't exist on the Amazon platform where presumably they could police it, then they're not a fan, right? And I think in general, this is the first time they've been very clear about the policy with regard to externally driven rebates or coupons or any other external marketing incentive. And once again, my studio prep has gone terrific because my other computer that I'm reading from has now timed out and I've got to enter my password. Don't go away. Dun, 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 dun. So I was going to broadcast from the other computer, and at the last minute, it gave me a bunch of memory warnings, and I'm like, oh, I know what to do. I'll just switch to my other computer. It's new. It's hardwired. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we continue on with the gripping tale of this Amazon lightning bolt that was delivered today, at least that I found out about today. We welcome and encourage coupons, discounts, deals, and other tools to lower prices for our customers and drive incremental sales, but only when those incentives are part of the product offer made in our store. So this is the second time that they've been explicit about saying it better be in our store, right? It better be in our store. They continue on to say, Amazon offers numerous programs to help you drive discovery of new products and increase sales through lower prices, and we welcome sellers advertising the same pricing and discounts off Amazon as they offer in our store. A subtle little jab that you better not offer lower prices outside of our store. In other words, if it's on Amazon, it better be the lowest price or else. Now, they didn't give the or else, but it's subtle, it's implied. Now, they continue on. It says, despite them welcoming kind of same pricing and discounts as they offer in store, we consider it a violation of the Amazon seller code of conduct if off Amazon rebates, discounts, and other schemes are designed to drive customers to products that are listed and sold without those incentives on Amazon. In other words, if you don't have the same Amazon offers available, I think Amazon's going to say naughty times for you. I wonder if that will make this rank in some algorithm if I say the word naughty over and over. So Amazon's saying, you better make sure that you understand it's a violation if you are not showing parity with offers now, right? Pricing is one thing, but now offers. So that means you really, Amazon's saying very clearly, you have no right to offer rebates or external marketing coupons or anything of any kind that is not also showing on Amazon. That's what they're saying right now. I don't know if they'll re-clarify this later, but let's carry on. So these practices are potentially abusive to customers and other sellers, as they may inflate search ranking, incentivize product reviews, and generate artificial traffic and conversion behaviors. Yeah. I paused because their entire algorithm is based on traffic and conversion, and they have so far shown an unwillingness or perhaps an inability to kind of crack down on like naked brushing. Brushing is much easier to pick up from a large big data set. There are statistical models you can run and pick up that stuff. So I'll come later, maybe in my rant here, that it's like, hey, Amazon, I'm fine to have fair is fair. Let's get everybody on the same playing field. And in many ways, I will always support cleaning up the platform and reducing manipulation and reducing the requirements that require or that incentivize the manipulations, if you will. For example, give us better discovery. What you have is not yet adequate. And our friends overseas, I'm speaking about the United States market or even the EU market, if all of those exterior foreign companies have an inherent advantage on us based on marketing practices, based on kind of just level setting on taxes and rules and regulations and compliance, that's, again, a problem. But I digress. Okay. So I think they carry on here, and I will say, so we're on the third paragraph for those keeping score at home. Specifically, it is a violation of the Amazon seller code of conduct to manipulate search rank to artificially boost your product search ranking, including through two-step URLs, super URLs, a very timely reference, funnels, treasure hunts, search, find, buy, and any other form of false or misleading behavior. Well, that covers the bases there. Well done, Amazon. A service by any name that's intended to artificially boost search ranking or portray a discounted sale as a full price is a violation. Now, again, some of this is subjective, because I would argue that when Xbox offers a $100 coupon or rebate on their product, they're doing the same thing. They're trying to drive artificially boosting search and sales rankings and all the rest of it. Not perhaps specific to Amazon, but these things are kind of, they work everywhere, just so you know. Like if we do this rebate kind of stuff on Staples or Office Depot or Target, I haven't tried it on Costco, but I bet it would work on Costco. The trouble is there's so few items on Costco, it's hard to have a big test group. But all algorithms reward kind of this behavior. So I'm not sure this is a perfect solution. But anyway, They continue on. A service by any name. Oh, I've already said this one, but I'll just repeat it for the sake of continuity. A service by any name that's intended to artificially boost search ranking or portray a discounted sale as a full price is a violation. So all the terminology we use, like full price rebates and full price giveaways and off Amazon giveaways and this and that, it's not going to fly anymore. We would like to remind sellers that you are responsible for the actions taken by your account, even those handled by third-party service providers. So it'll be harder for us to point at the guy in the corner and go, "Oh, I don't know what that guy was doing," but sorry. Plausible deniability has been reduced, is my point. Now they carry on with, I would say, a nice little mea culpa. Sales who may not have understood this policy previously should end these practices immediately, as they are in violation of the Amazon Seller Code of Conduct. Now, I'll just finish this out and then more commentary coming. In addition, we continue to audit developers in our Seller Central partner network to ensure they are not offering abusive services, and we are removing any applications that violate these terms. So the Seller Central partner network is all the service providers who have access to MWS or SP API is another term that you may hear bantied about. And they're companies like my company, Parsimony. We have access to all the seller data. We don't do any giveaways or anything like that, so we're not at risk or in violation. But the point is, Amazon says we're going to cut you off if you violate how your data should be used, and then they're going to go further where they can track it to the sellers, and they're going to give the sellers a little bit of beat down. So both the software provider and the seller have potential culpability. And then finally, they give the normal, see the full seller code of conduct for selling on Amazon, blah, blah, blah. So I would love to hear if you guys have any comments about that. What do you see this shaking up the rebate scene? For those attending live, go ahead and put in a comment if you have any right now. But I do see this as being a reckoning. We're going to bifurcate this space now. Well, and the bifurcation is if you relied on Amazon software in any way to execute a rebate program or some sort of giveaway program, you're not going to have access in the future. I don't know how anybody will get around it. Even if they do for a day or a week or a month or even a year, eventually it all catches up to you. That's certainly my experience is just do the right thing up front and then it won't come back to haunt you. And in fairness, I want to be clear that Amazon has not been sufficiently precise in its clarifications and rulings about rebates and other practices of this sort. JA says, to me, it signals that Amazon is ready, preparing to attack it. And yeah, they've already taken a couple shots across the bow. That's for sure, JA. But there's no doubt that, in fact, they are going to be, I think, guns a-blazing here over the course of the next number of weeks and perhaps even months. So with Amazon clarifying this rebate, basically any external offer that you make, I don't think it'll matter if it comes from a rebate platform or a sale platform or anything, if it's not in parity with Amazon's offerings on their own website. So for example, if you say, hey, you want 100% off? Here's the coupon code. And if you offer that on Amazon and you offer it off Amazon, I don't think they could say anything about that. In fact, I think it's very explicitly acceptable and covered under their policy guidelines here. But to the extent that there is any disparity between these two functions, that's where I think we're going to start running into a little bit of a problem. So again, if anybody has comments, you're welcome to leave those. I do want to just talk a little bit about Q4. Everybody feels the pain of some of the supply chain stuff, and I've been talking about it from time to time, certainly on some recent podcasts and various conferences I've been to. And so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but just as a quick recap, supply chain is complex. There's many moving pieces, and no dictum from governments of any kind will solve it toot sweet. It's just there's just too many moving parts. And by the way, every time they decide they're going to issue fines to shipyards or container vessels or any of the rest of it, just raise your hand because that means you're getting the bill. And so, as these, I don't know, to me, I see these politicians being feckless and in general, kind of not helpful to the situation. And so, I want you guys to know, don't count on any external help to fix this problem. You need to fix it yourself. Now, that means picking good partners, and we'll follow up with that when I talk about Empower here in a second. But having good partners that you can really rely on, and perhaps even widening the partner net, as it were, right now is a good idea. Maybe not everybody has access to the route that you need, or perhaps there's 3 people have the same route that you need, but only 2 can deliver on that route. Getting multiple quotes is really important, and Empower has at least 2 or 3 freight carriers that you can reach out to. I would also highly recommend you guys go to empower.com. Check out the new platform. We're working with some new membership stuff, and all of the content for shareholders is going to be behind closed doors. So if you can see it now, welcome to the open house. But as that gets ratcheted down, it just we hope it encourages you to become a shareholder. It's $250 and $50 a month. Everybody, just go do it because it's the right thing to do, and it's a tasty way to do it. And if that's not awesome enough, why not come and join a 3-day amazing event for $199? We have VIP tickets that are going to be a nice little hors d'oeuvres, a networking meetup one night, almost nearly a full day at the Wizards of Ecom building down in Miami. We're going to be hanging out, lots of prizes giving away, big screen, iPad, Oculus, and other really beautiful gifts and high value gifts. So not waste of time gifts like, here's a candy corns, like the Halloween ripoff, the timeless Halloween ripoff, I might add. And then, of course, there's the next day. Well, that night, I should say, on December 10th, the VIPs will all go to the Empower Mansion and have a wonderful catered affair, lovely dinner, networking, and really close contact. That part is very, very exclusive. I think there's only 30 tickets originally available, and there's less now. And then the next day, we're doing a kind of a networking and party, pool party, and whatever you want to do at the Empower Mansion. It is amazing. For $200 for have the all access VIP for all the days, all the events is unbelievably inexpensive. And there are other ways you can join. If you just want to come on the one kind of learning and prize day, you can do that for I think $100. It's really cheap. But I want to just remind you guys of what the purpose of the Empower.com co-op is. It's to help you, your sellers. We want to help you. And if you're service providers, we want to make sure that the co-op vets you and that you have good rapport and reputation and advantages for the members. And then we want to reward the partners and the providers with good business and good contacts. And we want to reward the sellers with cash back and great offers and safety, right? You can still be an independent business, but we can do it together. And co-ops really have worked in many, many industries for decades and decades. But the only official kind of member-owned nonprofit cooperative 308B type of company is Empower, and I certainly welcome you to join. And I thank everybody who's already done it, and the wonderful sponsors who help keep it going. So thank you for that. Anybody, if you have questions, go ahead and answer them now. Just a quick recap. Amazon says do not do rebates, do not do coupons, do not do anything off of Amazon. And if you do, you're going to be in trouble, and they're coming for you, and it will be a violation. Any service providers that happen to be in this space, boy, it's a day of reckoning, everybody. I think all of us intellectually knew this day was coming at some point. We could ask, why did it take this long? I don't know, but Amazon is very clear, in my opinion, and by the way, I'm open to being wrong, but they said explicitly, if you have a different promotional offer off of Amazon than on Amazon, you're in violation. And that is the most clear they've ever been. And they said it in a wide enough way with regard to rebate, coupon, and other marketing offers. So that's a pretty wide net. So any parsing of that language, I think, will be difficult and ultimately a loser. I wouldn't probably pursue that. And so now we're going to have conversations about how we launch products, right? And what does that mean? And what are the methods? And by the way, there's plenty of ways to do it without just giving away product. In fact, until 5 years ago, I never knew that people did full price giveaways. That's kind of when I really got deeper, maybe 6 years now, deeper into the Amazon space. Although we've sold on Amazon for many, many years, dating back to 2001. We always just sold for money, and then we'd do a bunch of marketing to drive the offer. And I think that's ultimately a big part of your answer is, instead of doing full price giveaways, whatever budget that costs, you're going to have to pour it into pay-per-click. And I will be fair. I want to be fair with Amazon. I beat them up a lot when I think they're in the wrong, but it's a cleaner system if they get rid of all the noise out of the boat. But as I alluded to earlier, I just want it to be fair. If you take away kind of our only way of trying to compete with brushing with foreign competitors, and they have the tax advantages, and they have all these other kind of strategic compliance advantages, you're just showing us that you only care about factory direct sellers in China, and that you do in fact want to cut out the middleman, just like one of your VPs in China said to all the factories in attendance. Hey, those guys selling, who are just brand owner sellers, they're not the ones making the product. You guys are. Let's cut them out. And that was a pretty outrageous thing to say, because just because somebody's a middleman doesn't mean they don't add value. Do you think Apple makes its own phones? It doesn't. You think Nike makes its own shoes? It doesn't. Right? So branding is actually where the value comes from. So with all due respect to my friends at Amazon, your attempt to take out the so-called middleman where you think they had no value, fine, if that's the way it is. But at some point, somewhere, somebody's going to show up. Walmart, get your act together, or TikTok, get your act together, or Facebook or Instagram. Somebody give a competitive push to Amazon. Right now, they're running the boards on us, and we really don't have a great deal of choices when it comes to marketplaces. At least the average seller. I'm still a multi-channel guy. I believe in multi-channel, and if you're in Powery, we have for qualified people, we have a way to get you introduced to Costco and others as well. So anyway, check out Empowery.com. Do me that favor. Check out Empowery.com, and become part of the community. I think it's I'm a volunteer there, just to be clear. It's not like I take a salary or get paid to talk about this. I'm just a volunteer, and I just like to have really great sellers of all kinds in the cooperative so everybody can learn together. So thanks again, everybody. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and hopefully enjoying. I maybe met you more than halfway there. One of my rants of the day. But when I saw the Amazon rebate conversation taking place from one of my dear friends and inside colleagues who shared the clarification statement today, I just felt like we needed to talk about it. And if nothing else, misery loves company, everyone. Thanks again. If you guys need to see this, it'll be on the Osmers podcast. I don't actually know what episode, so just keep your eyes open. That's where the replay will be. But there may be other replays available on Empowery.com and YouTube and other places. Thanks again, everybody. I really wish you the very best holiday season, and I just can't wait to see all of you at the top.